Have a good day at work.
We all have to go to work. But sometimes a job is more than just a way to put food on the table. Sometimes a job might send you all over the world. Sometimes a job challenges you mentally and physically. And your coworkers are funny and interesting. Sometimes a job is... I'm Tom, and I'm a blue man.
Blue Man's lack of self-consciousness has been something that's inspired us with our creative process. To try something new, you have to be willing and have the courage to just forge ahead, regardless of whether you feel silly doing it. You have to shed the self-consciousness.
Hi, I'm in my kitchen. I live in Chicago.
Deep dish pizza.
With my wife. My cat. And my full-time job is being a blue man.
Yes!
Blue Man Group is a creative organization.
Creative organization.
We have shows all over the world.
Check it out.
What is a blue man?
I don't know.
It sort of seems simple. You know, a bunch of blue guys jumping around, hitting stuff, making people laugh. But there's a lot more to it.
A lot!
X Factor. Depth.
X Factor.
Human connection.
How do you become a blue man? How does it work? Well, there's a simple acting audition, a simple drumming audition, and if the casting department sees a blue man in you, you can begin the process. I recently went to New York City.
New York City!
New York City.
To visit my friend Tim, who is head of casting and training.
We are always looking for blue men. There has only been a brief time in my many years here that we were not actively looking for blue men. The search for incredible performers is a tough one. We have incredibly trained people from Juilliard who just haven't worked out in this place, and we have people who have had no training at all that do. You have to have the ability to have some rhythm and to have some musicality because we can teach people how to drum. That is obviously a very, very important part of learning the character. But you also have to have some pretty mad acting skills. And if you don't have those mad acting skills, you have to have some sort of instinct thing that identifies you with the character, that you have a natural, really high curiosity, you have a natural intensity about you, you have a lot of energy. Those are more difficult things to teach. And of course there's the qualities that are impossible to teach, like just charisma and having an audience watch you and want to know what you're thinking and what's going on and be intrigued by your presence. Those things are just the sort of fundamentals that we look for in a character or in a person that then they can bring to the character. We have a room where you can do spin painting, we have a conference room, and of course we have great wardrobe facilities and hangout space and offices and a training space that was going to be exactly what we wanted it to be. Learning how to become a blue man, you will have keys to this space so that you can actually access it 24 hours a day, and frequently people are here, late at night and early in the morning because it is a pretty rigorous process and it takes a lot of work.
To get the job in Blue Man Group, it would be a dream come true. I mean, this is something that I've wanted to do
since I first saw the show.
Like there's just this whole world of taking my life to the next level with this job. You know, another level of performance, another level of professionalism, another level of payment.
To be a full-time performer, I've been in the city for 3 years. I'm from Kentucky, and that's why I came here.
Becoming a blue man is not an exact science. New blue men will receive constant feedback from direction and other performers. In the beginning, it might feel something like this.
He had a similar reaction to the show, like that it was a really good show that you guys had something happen, like that thing that you say, I would say that you have that hunger and appetite, that there's something visceral happening, that there's this desire, but you can't do it, and so that resistance creates the conflict that makes us interested in what you're doing.
Right. Every night it's different. I think that's the thing that makes it interesting. It's just like everyone's connected in a way that they're not used to at theater.
If you're willing to be a little wild, just kind of get beyond your self-consciousness, have a little bit of courage, and you're willing to unleash the power of collaboration.
I live in Chicago. Deep dish! But Blue Man Group has taken me all over the world. Berlin, Toronto, Tokyo, Brazil, Taiwan. I lived in Las Vegas for 10 months. I think one of my favorite experiences has been going on the Complex Rock Tour. We toured 90 cities all over the country and Canada. Got to ride in a tour bus for almost a year and just made a lot of friends. In 2003, I got to be on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. Yes! One of the coolest memories I have is jumping up and down on his desk. You do some interesting gigs with Blue Man. You find yourself in strange places, like on a red carpet, or performing a halftime show for the Chicago Bulls. One of the most surreal gigs I did was performing for the Queen of England at the Royal Variety Show. I caught 35 marshmallows in my mouth in front of the Queen of England. Oh yeah, that guy was there too. Also, because I'm a blue man, one night I got to ride in the Wienermobile. I recently went to Nashville, where Blue Man's current touring production was making a stop. Check it out.
It was insane. Yeah, a little. You know, I mean, if just the first time you see yourself bald and blue was weird. It was really weird. You know?
You never forget it.
Yeah. You're just kind of, you know, looking at yourself and just trying to, you know, figure it out.
Audition, a callback, then the 2-day or a 3-day workshop where you learn some pieces, and then all the performer directors are there. Everybody, you know, casting, everybody's like watching you.
You can't do it right. I'm like, I just wanted to get it right because it's impossible.
Yeah.
You just got to go through this thing.
I was like, no, I have no idea what I'm doing. I had no idea. And then I went and watched the show, and then that's when I got worried.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. I was like pretty far in the process. Then I saw the show, and then I was like, I'm gonna do that.
I was thinking, I'm not gonna be able to do that.
I never pull that off. There's no way. No way.
And having that insecurity, you know, and having to work really, really hard to get it, it was an enriching experience, and ultimately led to, you know, becoming a good blue man.
People always, the news folks are always like, well, what's your favorite part of the show? Is it the marshmallows or everything? And I think that it's that part, that simple part that they can't take away or change or whatever, is where we go out and just look at a person.
Totally.
It's that really intense, direct connection.
Sometimes it kind of turns on me, and that's what I really like when you're just looking at somebody, and maybe not only do they have a little moment like of realization, as the actor, as the performer, sometimes experience the same thing where I'm not really performing anymore, and it all falls away, and you're just kind of staring at each other, and nobody has an answer.
Everyone's having a different reaction, but a lot of times the father's kind of, you know,
he's keeping it cool.
Oh yeah,
doing his job, you know. Got the kids the tickets, you know, got them all in the car after work, and, you know, he's just doing what he's supposed to be doing and watching the show. And to go up to that guy and to have a moment with him and watch him turn over, and especially over the arc of the show, like by the end of the show, to watch him totally reckless abandon. We're just two guys, and it's all right that you're guarded. I feel guarded too, but I'm in this weird outfit, and I can't be guarded now, so we have to look at each other. This is my job. I'm getting paid to do this. But then it keeps rolling over. But this is real, and we're really experiencing this. And then it rolls over. And then he's starting to maybe roll over too. And those are rare. But when it happens, it's really weird, and really cool.
Yeah. That damn makeup. Makes your eyes look
your eyes
like pop.
We really are so weird looking.
Weird looking.
Yeah.
Totally weird looking and just silent and just aware, like hyper aware of what's going on around us.
My character now is just me.
Yeah.
Before it was like a forced Blue Man.
Yeah.
Like the movements, the arms, the turns, the eyes, everything. Now it's just me.
I have to act normal when I'm not a Blue Man.
That's what I would say.
You know? And when I am a Blue Man, it looks weird and I do weird things, but that's because I'm a weird person.
Honestly, one of my favorite things about the job is the people that I've met, and I've said that over and over. And sincerely, it's great to see you guys. I'll see you, you know, every 6 months or every 10 years, or just meet you or see you next month for a month, and then you're moving on somewhere else. So I think I met some of the best people in my life working for Blue Man
Without
Group,
a doubt.
which sounds like a commercial, but it's totally
It's
true.
totally true. There's no puff about it.
I said it today. It changed my life.
And that's a good thing.
It is.
We all went to a party after the show that night and talked about a lot of other things besides Blue Man Group. But that's a different movie.
But yeah, it's a job, you know, you go to work and I think what makes it fun is just the dudes you work with, because the great thing about this company is the people they hire. I'd say the best part is the fact that I get to use my acting technique, my Meisner. You know, I'm used to using my words, but here I can't use my words. It's just me on stage with two other guys and just looking eyeball to eyeball and just communicating with our souls.
It can be so different from night to night. Different guys you work with, different energies, and different audiences make for different types of shows. It's always a conversation starter, I guess. You know, what's Eric doing down in Chicago being a Blue Man? Like, it's pretty cool.
You know, it seems like when we're all kids, at one time, like, everybody paints. But somehow we throw away that kind of inspiration in the moment.
Follow your bliss.
Follow your bliss.
One of my favorite parts about this job is that you have the time, and the means to do other projects. Many of the Blue Men are in movies, commercials, plays, rock bands. I started a production company. In fact, I'm making what you're watching right now. Whoa. And honestly, I don't share this with many people, but I even had the time to learn some Tuvan throat singing. I don't share that with people. It's not just 3 Blue Men on stage. There's also a band. A Chapman stick, zither, percussion, a drum kit, bass guitar, all in different combinations depending on what show, what city.
You can feel this energy between us, the band members, and then the Blue Men too are definitely in on that conversation. It's that kind of feeling that can come across to the audience as, wow, they're really communicating on this very deep level. The role of the band is to create this excitement and create a sort of a sonic landscape for the Blue Men to exist in.
I never thought about getting into theater of any sort. It was just always bands, local bands, playing guitar, writing music.
I was playing in bands, teaching drum lines, going to school.
I never even knew what a Chapman stick was until I auditioned. The person who trained me just showed me the parts, and a lot of it by ear. You had to pick some of it up by yourself and just go to rehearsals, practice, and do the shows.
Learned it kind of on the fly.
So much of the show and so much of the community and all this stuff is really tied to an old tradition of tribal sense of, like, you have a community of people and the elders or the people that have been around for a while pass stories and down to the next generation, and they take a hold of it and create something new with it.
Yeah, the background of the players is extremely diverse and extensive. There are some guys who have come from a music school background. There are many guys who have come from no schooling whatsoever and just are self-taught.
Not only did I have to play something on the drums, but I had to pay attention to what was going on the stage and be aware of cues. And then also, on top of this, really perform and try and create a character.
And we paint our faces and we wear costumes that make us look bizarre, two-dimensional at times. We create this mystical quality. It sustains this notion of otherworldness or uniqueness. A type of music or a type of band or type of characters you don't find anywhere else.
The show's always different. Like, been doing it about 4 years now, and I don't think I've ever played the same show twice.
Blue Man kind of represents the part of all of us that feels like a fish out of water. We tend to think that the part of ourselves that feels different should be hidden. Having the courage to expose that part of yourself, do not hide that, because that part of you is the key to, you know, one's individuality, but also like letting it out lets all this creativity out. When we drum on the paint, the vibrant color is a way of expressing the vibrance that happens when you let your outsider come out.
So what is the Blue Man? It's honest, it's powerful, it's funny, it's vulnerable. It's just me. It's my history, it's my joy, my pain, my take on the world, my humanity, sort of rolled up into this character. And it's my job. And I get a paycheck. Honey, I'm home.
How was work?
It was awesome.